Hey everyone, welcome to my draft analysis for this season of the United Pokemon Association. The UPA is doing a low-tiered duos draft, which I think is going to be really fun. I've never done a duos draft before, so I'm excited to see how the format plays out. For a little bit of context, if you don't know what draft is, players take turns picking mons off of a draft pool with a certain budget. However, once a mon is picked by a coach, no other person may pick it. We're doing low tier, which means all the top tier threats that are usually allowed, like Dragapult, Iron Valiant, Zamazenta Crowned, are banned in this format, and the top tier threats are now Gengar, Entei, Feraligatr, those kinds of mons. And duos is a little bit different. Basically, you have a partner, right? And my partner is Nobody777, and our team name is the Hellhounds. So everything about it is basically linked into two separate divisions. So our schedule, we're going to be fighting duo versus duo. Our position in draft will be the exact same, and most importantly, our record is going to be linked together. So each of us have 8 battles for a total of 16, and it's gonna be mostly the same as a regular single player draft. It's just you're gonna have standings, win-loss ratios are super duper important, and then that determines if you get playoff. Except instead of 8 battles, it's not gonna be 16. Another big change is ghosting. If you don't know what ghosting means in draft, it's basically where you can talk to your partner or coach your partner through their match. So let's say I was in a battle, nobody could come and help me during my actual battle. And if scheduling and stuff like that gets rough, he could even play my battle for me, which I think is gonna be pretty helpful. So extensions and stuff aren't needed like that. I think it's gonna be really fun. Ooh. So with that out of the way, let me get into my draft of this season. Okay, so my draft consists of Ceruledge, Azelf, Tentacruel, Magnezone, Darkspun, Rotom-Mow, Terra Phalanx, Braviary, Zoroark, Sandslash, Terragreedon, and Morgrem. We ended up with the first overall pick, and I did say both of our picks are the exact same, so he also got first pick. Yeah, I don't think this team is super duper bad. I don't think this team's bad at all. I think it's actually really solid. Ceruledge is not normally allowed in low tier, so having it in this format, I think it's going to put in so much work with its strong offenses, good typing, weak armor, and ability to set up Swords Dance or Bulk Up. Azelf, just really good mixed attacking mon. It gets 125 in both. It gets mystical power to set up. And it gets really good coverage like Flamethrower, Dazzling Gleam, and Energy Ball. Tentacruel, same thing as in UPA, except lost Scald, a good grind up poison with extra toxic and toxic spikes, good bulky water with 120 base special defense, and most importantly, it can rapid spin. My Steel Magnezone is really good with this 130 base special attack, as well as its really good defenses with 115 defense and even solid special defense at 90. It gets Analytic, which is really good for slow Volt Switch, which it'll boost its power since it only has 60 base speed. And it could even go like Mirror Coat sets with Assault Vest, Thunderbolt, and Flash Cannon. It also gets Magnet Pull, which I could use for like a more niche scenario since I do resist steel and I can fire off strong body press. Pretty good mon. I did want Orthworm instead of this mon, but I will absolutely take a Magnezone. Next up, we got my fairy with Darkspun. Darkspawn's a really solid mon. A really good defense ability that gives it a defense boost every time it gets hit by a fire move. So being able to pair that and then give it body press as well, and which is really solid. It can wish pass, it could roar, it could heal itself and it has protect. This one's really good support for my entire team. Next up is Rotom. This is not the grass type I wanted, I'm being so honest with you. I wanted Arboliva first, then I wanted Hydrapple, then I wanted Shaman. Those are all taken, so we ended up with Rotom. Rotom is not a bad mon, definitely. It can Scarf Volt Switch pretty freely if the team doesn't have a ground type. It can be support with Screens, Thunder Wave Trick. It could be offensive with Nasty Plot, and Leaf Storm to hit grounds that its Electric Stab cannot hit. Yeah, Rotom, a levitating electric, always good. Gives it more offensive potential. I think this mon's gonna do work for us. Next up is my favorite draft mon with Terra Phalanx. It's a pretty solid mon overall, 100 base attack with no retreat and Defiant. If they ever try to go for Intimidates or Parting Shots, thinking they can slow me down that way, it's just not gonna happen. It gets really good moves like Close Combat, Horsepower, Iron Head, First Impression. If I ever need to outspeed priority kill something before I set up, that's always an option. And with Terra, this mon could go, since this mon gets Terra Blast, it can run it successfully with Terra Ice or Terra Fire. Whatever moves it doesn't get normally, it can now run with that Terra Blast. Braviary is a really good Scarf Brave Bird spam mon with access to Close Combat. I mainly picked it up as a defogger if I ever needed a defogger, but ideally I will never need that. It really wants to come in, click Scarf, Brave Bird, just outspeed the entire team, hit really hard, and get those Defiant boosts from Intimidates, Parting Shots. And yeah, this mon, I think it's gonna do a lot for us. Next up is Zoroark. Mainly drafted it as a stored power immunity because I don't want to get stored power swept. Other than that, this one doesn't do too much, I think. Like, I don't even know. It can, I guess it could do like illusion stuff, but it's really hard to play illusion is my thing. But if I can do it successfully, I can really trip up opponents. It can use Encores, Nasty Plot with 120 base special attack, or Swords Dance with 105 base attack. Really solid one. Next up is Sandslash, my physical defense spinner. Also a Volt Switch immunity, which is the main reason I drafted it. It also gets Rocks and Spikes, which makes it a really good hazard mon. It gets knockoff or utility and try to break other hazard mons or rapid spinners. 100 base attack, really strong earthquakes. Yeah, this mon puts in a lot of work. It can put in a lot of work. Next up is Terra Greedent. Terra Greedent is basically the opposite of what Phalanx wants to do. Phalanx comes in, setup sweeps, no retreat, really gets a Defiant boost, cleanups the game. Greedent, it could definitely be more played defensively with like body press stuff or utility, or it can be played offensive with like Belly Drum, Cheek Pouch, Curse sets. It also gets Belly Drum, Citrus Berry, Cheek Pouch sets. That makes more sense. It gets good coverage with stabs, body press, knockoff, the fangs, seed bomb, horsepower. Really underrated mon, I think. Surprised I actually got it this league. Not a lot of people think of Greedent in my opinion, so being able to bring it as like a win con or a unexpected threat makes it super fun. And lastly, we picked up Morgrim. Morgrim is a dark type again. It gets Prankster, Screens, Thunder Wave, Parting Shot. Light Clay is banned, so that makes Grimmsnarl a lot worse. But since Morgrim likes to run Eviolite as well, I think it's a little bit, not better, but like I think it's a bit more viable for its points, because I think Grimstyle is a lot like super duper high. I think it's like 17, 16 points, whereas this thing's only 2. So I think it's gonna be really good for the value it gives. And that's my team for the UPA off season. But we still have my partner, Nobody777, and he drafted a team consisting of Mandibuzz, Flygon, Florges, Electros, Orthworm, Terra Victory Bell, Scobalane, Torkoal, Terra Sableye, Medicham, Quaxwell, and Weirdeer. He did go into a Sun route with his Torkoal, Scovillain, Terra Victory Bell. He can go to Terra Sun, not Terra Sun. He could go Prankster Sun with Sableye, if he ever needs that. And he has some decent other sun mons like Flygon Flamethrower and stuff like that. Mandibuzz is a really good Pokemon, gets access to Defog if we need to remove hazards like that. Flygon super duper versatile. What it can play most of the time it's gonna be DD, Banded, but it can even go like supporting Rocks, Tailwind, U-turn, that sort of stuff. We got Florges, really good special wall, access to Wish passing, and really good special attack with like 112. Electro, super duper versatile as well. It can be run AV, it can be run Coil, it can be run so many ways. I think Electros is really good, especially with that ground immunity. There's Orthworm, another ground immunity. Really good hazard setting one with spikes and stealth rocks. It gets access to body press, iron press. Yeah, I think the stereotypes of ground immunities are always going to be really solid no matter the format. So I hope this one puts in work for him as well. Terra Victory Bell, really good Sun Abuser, especially with Terra. It gets moves like Solar Beam, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Weather Ball, and of course Terra Blast and whatever Terra type he needs. There's Scovillain, another really good Sun Abuser. It gets Stab, Fire moves with the Sun Boost, and it outspeeds basically the entire team, even if it goes like Scarf. This would be like a really fast Scarf Mall, which you don't really have in this format. Yeah, I think like Specs or Life Orb, Weather Balls, Fire Blast, Flamethrower is gonna put in so much work. It's gonna like nuke so much of the game. Torkoal, obviously pretty standard Sunsetter, the best Sunsetter in my opinion in any format, unless there's like super duper super high Uber, then you get like Groudon and Koraidon. Even Uber doesn't normally learn Koraidon anyway, so yeah, in like a regular format, I think Torkoal is still the best Sunsetter. And in low tier is going to be even better since it gets access to Rocks, Rapid Spin, it sets up the Sun, it gets Solar Beam, Yawn, a whole bunch of utility and it can even be running like offensive with like Shell Smash. Terra Sableye, pretty solid, gets Prankster, it can set up the Sun, it can Terra like into a Steel type on a Fairy move, it'll go Poison on a Fairy move, and then just get that Sun up, get some disrupt a little bit, break a little bit if need be, and then let Victory Bell, Scovillain come in. Medicham, really good physical wall break with Pure Power, it can run Choice Scarf, Choice Band, a whole bunch of stuff. Trailblaze, Protective Pads, fun is a lot. Quaxwell is a 2-point bulky water with Eviolite. It gets Rapid Spin as well, it gets Moxie if anyone wants to go into that route, which I think would be really funny, and he has to bring that at least 1 week. And all to be said about this bottom 2, and then Weirdeer. I know Weirdeer gets Intimidate, I know it's a normal Psychic type, and I know it evolves from Stantler. That's all I know about Weirdeer. This mon is like unknown territory to me. And that is my draft analysis for this season of the Pokemon United Pokemon Association Draft League. Thank you for watching. I've already recorded week 1, and I think it's going to be a really fun season. There's a lot of good teams in this format. And I will see y'all not next week actually. The battle will be coming out ideally Monday. Yeah, I guess that is next week.